Hi everyone, welcome to Shell's Sugar Rush and welcome back if you've been here before. Today I'm going to be stacking and securing this beautiful 3-tier birthday cake and getting it ready to travel to the venue where it's going. Now I get a lot of questions about stacking and securing tiered cakes, so I thought I would take you through this process with me today. So if you'd like to see how I do this, then stick around and watch me get it ready to go. So for this 3-tier cake, I've already got my cakes crumb coated, and now we're just going to do a final coat on them and then get to stacking. Now before I put my supports in, I'm just going to put a little texture in the cake. And to do this, I'm just going to take my small offset spatula and just turn my turntable, and I'm going to hold this in the same spot the entire time, but gradually just moving up the cake. And you see how simple that was? Now we're going to continue on the top of the cake, going towards the inside. Oops, get the spot. You don't really have to give this a lot of pressure, but you can kind of gauge it depending on how soft or how hard your buttercream is at the time. And you don't really have to go in all that far if you're stacking, because we're going to have an 8-inch cake on top of this, so really this is as far as we need to go here. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my just some wooden dowels in the cake for support, and I have some parchment paper cut out as well. I am going to put this underneath the cake board for the 8-inch, just so that when they remove that 8-inch cake board, it doesn't pull all the buttercream up with it. So here I'm just kind of gauging where my supports need to go, and they'll go just inside the circle I made. So, and I will put a dowel through the center as well. Could do 6 just to be safe, but I think we'll be fine with 4 in here since we'll have the 5th one down the center. Now I am just going to take a little bit of my buttercream and spread it on there. And I am going to take my 8-inch parchment paper, and I'm going to go ahead and place that. This is going to help me too as far as making sure I get my second cake tier centered. So, you know, because you can kind of move this around without hurting anything. And like I said, when you go to take that second tier off, it won't rip up, you know, the cake board usually, if you've had that experience, the cake board will usually take your icing off. So you won't have to worry about that. All right, so now we're gonna get our second tier ready. Okay, so we've got our 8-inch tier, it's chilled, and it's sitting on an 8-inch cake board, but I also have it sitting on a 10-inch cake board just for being able to move it and decorate it. So, we're going to go ahead and put our final coat on this one. again, we're gonna center this one. You see I've already got my little hole in the middle. And you can just take a ruler around here to measure this if you feel like you need to. It's pretty good. Okay. Now we're going to get our third and final tier ready. Okay, here's our third and final tier. It's chrome coated and chilled. And again, now I have this one on a 6-inch cake board, and I have it sitting on an 8-inch cake board just for decorating purposes and moving it around. And I'm going to pop this in the fridge to chill for a little bit, just so it'll be a little easier to put it on top of the other cakes. Okay, so we're going to bring back in our bottom tier and our middle tier and get ready to stack these. I'm going to spread just a little bit of buttercream on here just to make sure that our second tier sticks good. Okay. And some people like to use roll icing. You can use what you prefer, but that's just would be another thing for me to make right now. So I'm gonna grab a couple of spatulas and I'm gonna loosen this up because, like I said, I do have it on. It is on an 8-inch tier and it's sitting on a 10-inch board. So I'm gonna just lift as carefully as possible. And this is chilled, so that way I can kind of move it around if I need to. Okay. And the good thing is, because I've got this parchment paper on top, I can kind of, you know, settle it in a little bit, help it settle in. And I am going to take some of my buttercream and fill in that gap around the bottom. And it's not going to take much, just a little run around that bottom and we'll be good. All right. And then I'm just going to take my little spatula and just smooth it down all the way around, which is good because this is, you know, the exact tool we use to kind of create this look to begin with. And I'm also going to be putting a ribbon around the bottom edge that's going to fill in as well, just to match the decor and the color theme that they're going with. Okay. All right, and I am going to put a dowel down the center of this. However, I'm not going to put it in yet. I'm going to put it in once I get that top tier on, because I want it to go through all 3 tiers. And unfortunately I didn't cut a hole in the bottom of my cake board on my top tier. So I'm gonna have to do it after the fact, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so we've got our top and final tier, and I'm gonna do the same thing I did before. I'm going to just, let's see, first make sure this is good and center. Okay, and I'm just gonna spread a little buttercream on here to help it adhere to the top. Okay, looks pretty good. All right, I'm going to take the 6-inch cake board off of the 8-inch. And carefully put this one on top. Okay, I think we've got it there. I'm just gonna kind of squeeze that down a little bit. There we go. All right, and again, we're gonna go around and just fill in those edges. Okay. Okay. Now, just kind of filling in any little bits at the bottom that I see that may need a little help. Okay, so there's our tiered cake. I am going to put the dowel in the center that I promised earlier. So to do that, I am going to just kind of find the center here, and I want to kind of mark it because I want to make sure it's going down through the center of every board. So we've got 6 inches here, so we're gonna go here, and okay, so that was pretty good. All right, so right about there. And obviously this is too short for all three, so I'm gonna show you, told you I'd show you how to do this. So we're gonna go ahead and start the motion here, and then we're going to get to that first cake board. So we're going to tap it through. Okay, tap it through the center. I'm just using my little cutter here that I use for my sticks, and we want to keep it really straight. We want to keep it going straight through the middle. Sorry guys if this is loud. And we should be coming to that other board. But we're going to go ahead and take this all the way in. You see there? Already more secure. Now what I'm going to do here, because we are about to where we can't go anymore, so I'm going to take another stick, okay, so you put the stick right on top of that one. Oop, that's okay. Sometimes it'll slip, but that's okay. We're putting decor on top, so no worries. Now we know at this point it's already through our second cake board as well. So we're just going to keep on until you feel it go into that cake drum at the bottom. Remember, this one had a little tip on it to make it easy to go through. So here we go. Don't think we can go anymore. All right. So you see how easy that was? Very easy to do it after the fact. Okay. And now we can start our decor. So we're going to start with our ribbon, and I have some green ribbon that I have purchased to go around the bottom of each tier. Okay, so our ribbon is on, and I just put, you know, just a little dab of glue there between the ribbon to secure it. Okay, now we're going to start adding on our flowers. Okay, so our cake is ready for the roses. So I am going to come around the front side here and just slide that back just a little bit. Let's see, make sure it's still on the camera. Okay, and got my back side there. So this is my front side. So what I've done here, and I've got roses that I purchased, and what I did is remove all the stems and replace them with toothpicks to make it food safe. So what I'm gonna do is, got one here with some greenery. So I'm gonna start at the top with one with some greenery in it, and I'm just going to just slide that one in carefully. And then I'm going to start coming down and around. And when you do this, you can kind of just, you know, just position your roses to where you feel like, you know, you want them. I'm going to kind of just come down in, I'd say like an S pattern. Down and around the cake, and then I'll go back and fill in with those extra roses. Sometimes you just have to adjust things to where you want them to be, to give you the look that you're going for. So this is what our topper looks like that's going to be going on the cake. So what I want to do is just open it up and take a look at things here and see how it's going to look once it's positioned. So here's our 80th birthday cake, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you'll be notified when I upload more cakes in the future. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you next time.